Okay, welcome back. It's been a few weeks since I finished the Thunder in Paradise boat, and it's next model time. Now, as you know, I built the trilogy of the AMT Batman kits from the Keaton era, but I've always liked the Batman Forever film, not so much the Batman and Robin, because you know how crap that was, but the Batman Forever film. So I've managed to pick up all three kits from that for not bad, too bad of a price, actually quite a bargain. Now originally I did have the Kenner models of these, and if you've had the Kenner models, you know how big they were. They was quite huge, and especially the Batwing. The Batwing's wingspan was got to be about 3, maybe 4 feet wide. But unfortunately, me and my wife had a massive argument back in about '96, and she took a sledgehammer to them. So again, my Kenner ones don't exist. So I've always wanted to build the kits of these, and I've managed to get them. So here's the first of the 3 Val Kilmer era Batman kits. Right, going over to my chest freezer, as you can see, it is the Batwing, again from Batman Forever. Box is actually pretty much in mint condition. The guy I bought it off cost me £26 off eBay, and he's really looked after this kit, and everything was bagged as well, so that's even better. You can see it says the Batmobile on the back boat. I've already bought those, which I've just explained. Not much to the box art, to be honest, as you can see. So here's all the sprues laid out. Again, they was all bagged. So you got some vents there. You got the rear wing, the little cockpit seat, maybe, I think. You got a stand, or the base of the stand, a couple more wings. Then you've got the 2 main the side wings there. And you've got the other 2 to match. As you can see, they're about as big as my hand. I don't think this is going to be as big as the Keaton Batwing, to be honest. I think it's going to be slightly smaller. And you've got the top half of the fuselage there. That's where the canopy goes. Bottom half of the fuselage there. Oh, there's the seat. There's the bucket seat. I don't know what they are, probably to the base. So I don't know what they is then. Let's have a look. Oh, it might be a back to the seat, I don't know. Maybe. Then you've got the crown pots, as you can see. Nearly lost those to the back of the freezer. Much like the, I think it was the Bat boat, I'm going to be stripping these parts with some bleach. And then obviously respraying them, as you can see. Because I don't like them. The chrome will come off very, very easily. And then last but not least, the instruction booklet. Oh, I forgot to bloody... There's your canopy glass. Hell of a lot smaller than the Keaton one. So going back to the instructions, see, it looks fairly straightforward. To be honest, there are that many pages. So this is going to be fairly easy. Oh, and you get a little decal for the, the Batman Forever with a Riddler question mark on the base. But I'm not going to be standing in this on the base, because what I'm going to do, just going up to my... You see the Batwing there, I'm probably going to put it next to that one at an angle. You can see it is at an angle. So that's how I'm going to hang it with the fishing wire. Well, there it is. The first of my Batman kits for Batman Forever. Stay with me. Right, work has started on the Batwing. I haven't really done that much. So basically the first part is the intakes onto the inside of the upper fuselage. You've got an intake there and you've got an intake there. So you've got number 9 and number 10. So you glue them in one at a time, and then they're glued together in the middle. And they make the holes for the intakes, as you can see, as per the plans. Number 9, number 10. I've done the cockpit tub. I've glued, basically all it was just glue the backrest in for the seat. As you can see, it's all lovely glued in. I've got the dashboard. I haven't glued the steering wheel in yet. at the dashboard, there's actually about three, I think it's about 3 dials on the dashboard there, and I don't know why it's a steering wheel. You'd think it'd be joysticks, so I've just test fitted those. And then you've got my crown parts. Basically, it's Sunday today. On Friday night when I got home, I've got what bleach I had left of the Domestos. I think it was about half a bottle. Put that in my Haribo sweet tub, and then dunked my crown parts in overnight. And then yesterday, which was Saturday, yesterday morning, me and the wife went up Bilston before the snow hit. You know, Beast of the East Part 2. And I picked up another bottle of Domestos for £1 from Poundland. And then last night, I changed the bleach, put the new bleach into my Haribo sweet tub, and then dunked these back in overnight. And as you can see, the bleach has took the chrome off 100%. All the parts have fully de-chromed. A hell of a lot better results than I had with the Keaton-era Bat boat from Batman Returns. And you can see that all the lovely detail has been brought out, an absolute treat. You can see all the lovely detail on the side of those pieces. So that's what I'm sitting so far. It's not much, but it's definitely something. Stay with me. Right, work continues on the Batwing. And as you can see, I've done all those chrome pieces. You know, I stripped the chrome off. I've primered them now. And then once I've primered them, I painted them with my 36190 Revell silver. Took one coat with a few touch-ups here and there. Once that dried, then I dry brushed some of my Tamiya Clear Blue X23. If you remember from my Enterprise build, I painted the warp nacelle globes and the deflector dish in that. So basically what I did is I just dry brushed it on, and then I used a bit of paper toweling just to wipe the excess off. And you can see to get it a nice silvery blue tint. And you can see I've probably got to touch up a bit more on that one there. But you can see the nice silvery blue tint on that, not bad at all. Now, if you've watched the film, obviously, and if you see the box art, you can see the actual tint coming through. So, to be honest, mine actually nearly matches the box art, which is even better, not bad at all. Stay with me. Right, work continues on the Batwing, and as you can see, I've now got the 2 halves of the wing. I've also put those silvery with the blue dry brush inserts in from the inside, as you can see. So they're all lovely and dry. You've got the panels there as well, and then you've got the intake. Now, I watched Batman Forever the other day, the scene with the Batboat and the Batwing. And this intake, I couldn't tell if it was black or silver. So what I've done is I've just painted it in my my gunmetal. And then all that's gone in from the inside as well, as you can see. All the insert that's in, all that's glued. And then what I've done is before I glued all those in, I just went round with the black and just did inside the gridding, as it were, just to make sure. And on that one I've just topped up the inside of the gridding where I hadn't done it. Because I've primed it, as you can see, but I'm not going to fully paint it. I'm going to glue this together now, because where I've got a sand actually shows up better on the primer than it would in the black. So that's where I'm sitting at the moment. This one side of the wing is ready to be glued together. Stay with me. Right, welcome back. The first wing is all complete now. Now, if you remember from my previous update, I just glued the inserts in. So you got the 2 on the top and the 2 on the bottom. Then you got my gunmetal painted vent. I'd also glued that in. Obviously let those dry. And then basically what I did is I just ran some glue all the way around the edges, as you can see. And then using a combination of my tape. So the tape went round the front end, the pointed edges there, and a bit, 2 strips there, and about, I think it was a strip there, strip there, and strip there. And then where I could clamp it, which was pretty much there, 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 and there, with these little dinky clamps, and just let that dry overnight, and as you can see, it's dried absolutely wonderful. Now, as you can see, I've got a seam issue to deal with all the way around. And another thing I had to do with the paint is I missed some nooks and crannies on the rib section, so I had to redo those. But my first wing is all complete. Now I can start on the second wing. Stay with me. Right, another quick update for you. Continue work on the Batwing. You can see that I've now started work on the other wing on the other side. You can see much rinse and repeat, like on that one. Inserts first, as you can see, glued all those in. Use the clamps to hold them down, and as you can see, they've glued in an absolute treat. Turning them over, you can see all the dry brush with the blue, with the silver base coat, and me gunmetal vent. So again, much like that one, all I've got to do now is glue these two halves together to make the wing on the other side. Stay with me. Right, welcome back, and more work on the Batwing, and as you can see, both wings are now done now. This was the second wing I had to do. I've just took the tape off and the clamps, it's glued together really well. I've also started to sand off the seams around the edges all the way around. You can see some of the primer, I've wore it away. Especially there, look, you can see. And on the other wing as well. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, whenever I've got a model kit that's plain black plastic, what I like to do is I like to primer the plain black plastic first, because, you know, when you've glued both halves together, when it's just plain black plastic, when you're trying to sand those seams down, the plastic goes like a darkish grey, and you can't really tell what you've actually sanded down on those seams. So when you come to primer, after you've sanded on the black plastic, you've got to do double the sanding. So when I primer these bits and then put them together and take the clamps off and the tape off, the actual primer brings out those seams a hell of a lot better than the plain black plastic. So there's a little tip for you. So basically all I've got to do now is just mask off the ribbed areas and the vents, because obviously I don't want no primer getting in there. And then basically all I'll be doing is just re-priming those edges where I've sanded off. So I've just got to put the tape on now, and we'll see what happens when I re-primer those edges. Stay with me. Right, welcome back. I've now primed all the edges, as you can see, and I'm looking, the seam has now gone, looking a hell of a lot better. So basically what I did is I just put some normal household masking tape on all the spine sections, the rib sections I should say, where the blue is showing through, and obviously on that vent as well. And then I just primed it around the edges, and then just took all the tape off, and as you can see, the edges are looking a hell of a lot better. Putting them to one side, moving back onto the cockpit. Now as you can see, the cockpit is fairly small, and if I get my metallic ruler out, I'll be able to measure this actually. You can see that the cockpit, it's barely, what, 2 inches long. But unlike the AMT 89 kit, where it had a pilot, this one hasn't. Now, the Batwing is 132 scale, as you can see. Looking on the internet for a 132 scale figure, if you remember when you was a kid, remember them little green army soldiers that you used to play with when you was a kid? Well, they're roughly 132 scale according to the internet. So I went to Poundland in Willenhall and I bought me a tub of soldiers. I'll just take the lid off. As you can see, they're all in there, looking the various poses. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to make me a Batman figure. Right, just moving him to one side. And here is my finished figure, as you can see. Now I hacked and cut away 4 figures to make this guy. I took the one leg off. I took the legs off one figure because he was doing like a kneeling pose. So I've took the legs off him. I've took the arms off another figure, and then the flat chest of this guy, and then just put them all together, much like that bloody kid in Toy Story where he hacks all his toys together and, you know, butchers them and all that bollocks. So that's what I've done. The trouble is, you can see where I've had to fill in with the milliput, because I had some gaps I had to fill in, you know, putting all the bits together. So I've filled all the milliput in. Oops. And the actual figure looks like he's got a nappy on. So obviously once I've primed him and painted him, he's going to look a hell of a lot better. I've also had to cut the guy's helmet off and try to sand that down as much as I can. And then obviously I've got to put some ears on, which if you can just about make those little green bits out there. While I was moulding that onto the with a milliput, I just made it as flat as I could and just cut a couple of pieces out and let them dry. So obviously I've got to glue them onto the side of his head. So that's a little cheap solution to putting a figure in the cockpit, and I can just slot him in there, and you can see it fits just about perfect, so not bad at all. So that's where I'm sitting at the moment. Stay with me.